Okay, this is Cynthia, and she'll be my demonstrator. So, did you know that volleyball was originally introduced as an alternative form of exercise for older people who couldn't play basketball? I know the game might have been slow then, but if you've watched it recently, you know that it's a lot faster, and I know my grandma couldn't keep up, so yours probably couldn't either. All of you in this room have played volleyball at some point in your lives, whether it was for fun or competitively. I've played volleyball my whole life, and I've had a lot of different coaches and been to a lot of different camps. Volleyball is a very enjoyable sport, and it gets more fun the better you get. Volleyball requires many skills, some of which are taught at a young age, but some of which are only used for higher level volleyball. Volleyball requires a lot of technique, and so today that's why I want to talk to you about how to do 3 basic volleyball skills: passing, setting, and serving. So we'll start with serving. A serve is a contact that begins every point. Every person on a team, no matter what their position, must know how to serve. The server is always in the right back and must serve from behind the serving line. There are 2 types of serves, underhand and overhand. Underhand is the easier type of serve. It requires a lot less technique and a lot less strength. It's a serve that you're usually taught when you first start out. So, to underhand serve, you put the ball in your non-dominant hand at about shoulder height. Your non-dominant foot should be forward. And when you go to contact the ball, you want to step forward with your non-dominant foot, swing your dominant arm, and hit it with the heel of your hand. So Cynthia will do a fast run through real fast. Okay. The second type of serve is an overhand serve. It requires a lot more technique and a lot more strength. It's used more in higher level volleyball because you can score a lot more points off of it, and it puts more pressure on the opposing team. So, there are 3 different types of overhand serves. There's a jump serve, a topspin serve, and a float serve. The most common of these serves is a float serve, and that's what I'll show you today. So, to do an overhand serve, you once again place the ball in your non-dominant hand with your non-dominant foot forward. The most important part of your serve, your overhand serve, according to most coaches, is the toss. So, when you toss, you want to toss it just high enough for you, and you want it to land on the inside of your forward foot every single time. It has to be very consistent, so it's something you practice a lot. Okay, so when you go to contact the ball, you want to step forward with your front foot, contact the ball out in front of you, drag your back toe, and follow through with your arm. Okay, so Cynthia will do a short demonstration. Okay. Errors when serving most commonly occur when you don't make it over the net or you hit the ball out of bounds. So now we'll move on to passing. A pass is the first contact during a rally, and according to most coaches, it's the most overlooked yet most important part of the game. A pass is most commonly done with your forearms, and it's also known as a bump. And it is also the easiest way to control the ball. So when you're passing, you want to interlock your hands in one of 3 ways. The first is the wrapped fist. So you make a fist with one hand and wrap the other hand around it. There's the cupped palms, where you place 2 open hands together and wrap them together, or the interlocked fingers. The most effective of these is the cupped palms because it provides the most flat surface for the ball to hit, which is right here. Okay, so when you contact the ball, you want to push your hands downward and your arms together to create a flat surface. You want your arms to be straight. You want to bend your knees and have one foot in front of the other. And when you pass, you want to push with your legs, follow through to your target, and never swing your arms, but you do want to shrug your shoulders. The illegal things when passing would be if you let the ball hit your chest, and that would be a lift, or if you let the ball roll up your arms, which would also be a lift, and both of those provide a point for the other team. So now we'll move on to setting. A set is usually the second contact during a rally, and it's an overhead motion. Most coaches compare a setter to a quarterback in football because they set the tempo of your offense, and they also decide who attacks the ball when. So to set, you should always be facing your target. Your shoulders always should be facing your target. That is the most important thing. Your feet should be the same as when you pass, about shoulder width apart, one foot slightly in front of the other, and your legs should be bent. To get the proper hand position, you want to make a triangle with your forefingers and thumbs, put them about 5 inches above your face, and separate them a few inches. It kind of varies for different people, but as long as it holds the ball, it really doesn't matter. So when you set, the ball should leave your hands quickly. Your arms should extend to your target like you're giving someone a high five. And you should always push with your legs because your power comes from your legs. The mistakes when setting most commonly occur when you contact the ball at different times with each of your hands, which would be a double hit, so like that. You see the ball spin instead of just being flat like it's supposed to. Or if you contact the ball with your palms, which is a lift. So both of those also constitute a point for the other team. So as I said in the beginning, volleyball requires a lot of technique. Proper technique results in a better game and a lot less errors. Today we learned a little bit about different techniques for 3 of the basic skills, which were passing, setting, and serving. I hope that the next time you play volleyball, you remember what I said and maybe even use some of it. Thank you for coming, and thanks for listening to my speech. And now they'll introduce themselves.
I'm Lindsay, I'm Riley's friend.
I'm Holly, I'm Riley's friend.
I'm Carla, I'm Riley's friend.
I'm Marisol, I'm Riley's friend.
I'm Edna.